I've been trading for almost 6 years now, and I've lost $100,000 doing so. And one of the main things that I learned on this journey is that the market is always going to expose who you truly are. Your results and your success is directly correlated with what's going on outside of trading. What are you doing on a daily basis? What is your input? Where are your thoughts at? Are you thinking positive? Are you a negative thinker? Everything directly correlates. You as a person is going to tell me enough to be able to tell you whether you are going to be successful or not. Like I said, your input is always going to be your output, your thoughts, your actions, directly going to correlate directly to your success. But why is that? What do I mean by that? Well, if you are someone, for say, who is a negative thinker, if you're someone who walks around and you hate life and you have a negative attitude, why would you ever be grateful for the opportunity and the chance to become a day trader? Why would you ever want to learn from your losses? You would just be someone who pouts. You would just be someone who is upset about losing and someone who's going to intake that negativity and amplify it. What do I mean by that? Someone who isn't appreciative for opportunity, someone who doesn't want to learn, someone who doesn't want to overall get better. They are going to act like the victim. They are going to play the victim. So when they lose, they're not going to be like, okay, here's a chance to learn, here's a chance to get better. No, this is going to be a chance for them to blame everybody else but themselves. They're never going to look directly inside of them, okay, maybe I took this trade because of this, I'm wrong because of that. No, their egos are way too high, so they learn to hate everybody but themselves, and they blame everybody but themselves. Those negative thinkers, all they see is negativity. When your input is negative, do you really think that your result is ever going to be positive? A positive person, on the other hand, they learn to appreciate life. They love opportunity. They love meeting new people. They think in positive wavelengths. They're not always stressing about what's coming tomorrow or what's to come in the future. They're positive. They believe in themselves, and they are appreciative, and they are grateful for life. They are not someone who's going to take it for granted. If we want to correlate this to trading, if I'm a grateful person, I'm going to be happy that, maybe I took that loss. I'm going to be maybe happy that I screwed up this setup or I traded this setup the wrong way, because this is always going to be an opportunity for that positive person to find a lesson, find something that they can learn and truly advance out of it. So that's what I mean when your input is directly going to be your output. And we can correlate this to not just mindset. If you are someone who is constantly watching stuff on the internet like porn, if you're someone who is watching Reels, TikToks, Instagram, easy pieces of dopamine, you are going to be victim to the market. You are going to lose to the market. Why do I say that with certainty? Because the market is a place where you can find that quick dopamine. All you have to do is click buy and sell, and you're going to get a hit of dopamine. And on top of that, this is kind of off subject, but the market is the only place, the trading is the only thing that you can sit in the comfort of your home, be able to click a couple buttons from, again, maybe even your room or your bed, and have the ability to make thousands of dollars. That idea sticks in your head, and your subconscious knows this. So you're always going to look at the market as a place of potential dopamine. So if you're someone, for example, who sits for hours scrolling on Reels, watching TikTok, getting that dopamine in easy manners, you are setting your dopamine baseline lower, so you are operating at an efficiency. This is why, I'm such an advocate for not even going on your phone in the morning, because if you go and you scroll on Reels in the morning, right, you're going to be at a negative baseline. You are not going to be operating at an efficient dopamine balance. So you're then going to, obviously your subconscious knows that the market is a place that you're going to be able to get easy dopamine. Since you already gave up so much easy dopamine, what do you want to do? What do you just naturally want to do? You're going to want to go back to baseline. You're going to want to seek out more dopamine. So you go into the market with the motivation of getting more dopamine, and you look at it as a place where, you can make yourself feel better. And of course, it never goes right, and it's never going to go right if you are a dopamine inefficient person, because all you are going to try to do is chase dopamine. You are going to gamble. You are not going to trade with logic. You are going to be trading very emotionally. So if you're someone with these habits, someone even who eats an extremely unhealthy diet, someone who eats a lot of candy, for say, again, you are just choosing the easy way out. You are choosing to do something you know is not going to be good for you, but it's going to pleasure you. You know what that can be completely matched with? Trading, taking bad setups, revenge trading. You know you're not supposed to do it, but it's going to make you feel good, so you do it. I always tell my students that they should always be practicing some sort of thing that they do not like doing in order to better themselves. So I had a student, his name is Jasante. He's an athlete. He was an athlete. I think he still is. He has a really good body. He's a wide receiver. Obviously, he's not like a fat guy or whatever. But, we had him running in the morning because, it would teach him, okay, I don't want to run, nor do I really need to run. I have a good body as is. But he would go run strictly because he hated running. So he would do that with the idea in his head that this is going to better me and that this is going to mentally make me tougher. I think what happened is he eventually fell in love with the progress so much that he even started putting a weighted vest on him while he was running. So it became more, than the result of looking better. It became, falling in love with the process, falling in love with the progress. It didn't become so much of, cheap dopamine. It was more the hard work and falling in love with the journey that, that he was attracted to. Now, he's going to easily be able to replicate that in the market. He's not going to be someone who is going to stare at his P&L, and really care that much because he's a progress and a journey-oriented person. What does his P&L matter? The long-term goal, yes, is to make money, but right now he's focused on the small little wins that the long-term is going to eventually pay him money, right? Because he has a system. He's putting down a mental, a psychological, and a technical system in place. He's letting himself do the hard work right now and all the benefits come later. He's not worried about the benefits. And this is exactly how you guys should think. You guys should definitely start doing something in your outside life. Personally, me, I hate reading. I do not read books. I was an awful kid and I was not a good student at all. But to this day, I read. I read not just like stupid, like fiction books. I read stuff that is going to benefit me. And again, I hate reading, but I know it's going to benefit me. This is building discipline. This is being able to tell myself, okay, you have to do this even though you don't want to. Correlate this directly to the charts. Yes, I really want to get on the charts and spam the buy and sell button. You know how hard it is to not do that, right? But I don't do it because I'm able to tell myself no. And another thing is going to be building discipline. Something that I love, an example of this is just going to be going to the gym. Going to the gym every single day. Not with the idea, okay, I'm going to get buff, but with the idea, this is a hard thing. I need to show up for myself every single day so I can get better and I can see the progress later. But right now, I want to do something that's going to better me. I want to help my health. Working out comes with a ton of different benefits, like your overall look, your brain, your energy, your muscles, all that sort of stuff. All this, it directly correlates to the chart. So all this stuff on the outside that we're building, whether it's reading, running, going to the gym, eating on a healthy diet, right? This is building you as a person. You learn to respect yourself at a higher level when you have this sort of view of yourself. Your identity is built off of your everyday actions and the thoughts that go through your brain and your anxiety. And if your anxiety, your day-to-day habits, and your day-to-day thoughts are all good things, your identity is going to be, like I said, it's going to be high. You are going to think of yourself in a more respectful manner. You are going to respect yourself. You are going to think of yourself very highly. What does someone of high value not do with their time? They do not waste their time. Do they make bad decisions every now and then on accident? Is it a mistake? Yes. Do they lose in trading? Yes, everybody loses in trading. But what my point is that someone who has so much respect for themselves and someone who thinks of themselves in a high manner, not someone who's egotistical, but someone who just knows their worth, is not going to go on the charts and waste time on bad psychology. It's not going to be someone who goes and trades consolidation markets. It's not going to be someone who gives in to bad habits, right? Because this is just them. This is just their identity. And when you respect yourself, like I said, you are not going to waste your time doing this. You have better things to be doing, and you know your value. You know that this scene minus setup is not worth your time, so why would you give any effort to it? Becoming a profitable day trader is completely a choice, but the reason why so many people do not make it, and keep in mind 99% of traders do not make it long term, and the reason for that is simply most of the people are not willing to put in what it takes in order to become profitable. It's too much of a sacrifice for them. It's too much work, right? And then, 1% succeed. The 1% of people that I succeed, the 1% of people that I see succeed have all these commonalities that I've talked about. You have never seen a bigger sized day trader who is profitable. And if you have, there's probably only a couple. But this is a prime example. There's not many fat day traders who are successful because, if they were to go out of their way and beat the game of day trading, why wouldn't they have beat the game of of their health journey. I don't even want to go too much into that, but if you're someone who is bigger, get in the gym, build the discipline so you can have the discipline when it comes time for training. If you are someone who is constantly eating stuff like that's not healthy, like you're eating burgers, donuts, pancakes. If you eat donuts, you're going to trade like a donut. What you put in your body is the direct output of what you're going to get out. Your input is always going to be your output. The thoughts that are in your head, if you are negative, you are going to walk around in a negative manner, and you are not going to be a positive person. You are not going to be grateful. Someone who is not grateful is not going to be a happy, someone who's not going to be a good trader. So, with that being said, this is everything that you pretty much need to do in your outside life in order to become profitable. Make sure you get all this done. I appreciate you guys if you watched the whole video. I've been dropping a lot of videos recently, so go make sure to watch those videos. Feel free to shoot me a DM on Instagram at Nate_trades. I love to talk to you guys, see how I can help, whether it's psychology, technically, mentally, whatever, scenario you're in. Feel free to reach out. I'd love to talk to you guys, have a simple conversation. And do me a favor, since I'm going out of my way making these videos just for completely free, please just drop me a comment. That's all I ask for. Push me in the algorithm. I'm not going to BS you. I want to get some numbers out of my YouTube. So all I ask for is just a comment and like the video or something. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and see you guys.